So today is installation and a shell. So installation, I think it's not very much required because you are already using the Cloudera installation. So instead, if you are using your own system and you want to configure HBase of your own, okay, so you need to have your HDFS ready. That means your Hadoop should be already pre-installed. So after that, you need to download some files, tar files, or you can just get the RPM files and you can use it. Okay. So what are the different modes of installation? Runtime mode, pseudo distributed mode, and fully distributed mode. In local or what is known as standalone mode, it is just the it uses just the file system, not the HDFS, and it is even not for production. And everything runs on the same JVM. Like it is just for your testing purpose or just for simple exploration, not for very much to know and to showcase something. Okay, again is your pseudo distributed mode that most of the people will be working for learning purpose. It is like fully mimics of fully distributed, like it gives you a sense of fully distributed, but it is not fully distributed because it stands on a single system, single VM, okay, on just one host. So it is good for testing, debugging, and prototyping. This property that has been mentioned here, it is same for every Hadoop ecosystem or every Hadoop component. So if you take it for HDFS or only Hadoop, it is the same thing. For HBase only, also for Hive, Pig, everything is same. So good for testing, debugging, and prototyping, not for production use or performance benchmarking. It is not suitable for these things. So development mode used in class. A fully distributed mode, what we will have it on many machines, and it is good for production and development. So how to set up pseudo mode distribution? Same thing. You need to have the passwordless SSH configuration. Then the Java should be there, and your HDFS should be configured pre-configured to make sure that Hadoop is up and running. Then start off HBase and verify the HBase is running. So the basic requirements for HBase is to have Java 6 or above. Okay, not Java 8. It is not yet like supported from most of the components. So Java 6 and Java 7 releases are compatible, and you can take the Hadoop 0.20 point anything is a stable version, and above that you have 1.2.1 and 2.4. I think 2.0.4 or 2.4 is the latest release, which is stable. Will lose data when crashes. Can run on top of local FS. Okay, so on top of local FS means local file system. So what will happen in this case? When it crashes, the data will be lost. So needs HDFS durable sync for data fault tolerance. So in order to avoid that, we need HDFS system to avoid the data loss and fault tolerance. To get the fault tolerance, we should use HDFS. To verify installation requirement is SSH installed. SSH must be running. Just like everything should be very similar to Hadoop, means in one line Hadoop should be configured well and Hadoop should be running well. Then only HBase you can deploy on that. Are you aware of Sigwin?
I haven't. I've heard of Sigwin. Yeah, that's for the Windows. The thing, like interface for Linux, right? Or Linux?
Yeah, it's like Linux running on your Windows machine, but it's not the actual Linux.
Yeah.
So it uses a lot of space. Yeah, correct. So it uses a lot of space, but doesn't give you such Linux experience. It is just for your learning. It is not good for production or not good for actual Linux environment. In order to use HBase, you need to configure something in HDFS. So point the HDFS for its file system, like where is the actual file system, which will be already configured. So this is the example, right? This is the location where you need to have your HBase data. Means you are actually not doing nothing. You are having a HBase folder inside the HDFS file system to hold the HBase files. Okay, and DFS replication is same since based on your cluster configuration, you can give the replication with 1, 2, 3, anything. Okay. So make sure you give it in odd numbers, not in even numbers. What is the configuration here? So this is the configuration and this is the replication. Okay. So the next will be this is explained, and how to check that whether the HDFS is running or you have whatever folder that you want to create. How will you check that? So you can check it with HDFS DFS -ls / means you are in the root directory of the HDFS file system, or you can use Hadoop fs -ls /. Next is you're starting the HBase. So what you can have here, you can start the HBase by going into the bin folder and starting the start HBase.shell. So by this way you can start the HBase. So verifying HBase is running or not. So in the HBase shell you can type any of the commands. So it will be something like list. So list will be using will help you listing all the tables that are there in HBase. Tables means HBase system. Okay. So HBase file.
Sorry, list is like
this is
the select star from tab kind of thing, right? In Oracle or something.
List is something like it's a system catalog. You are getting all the table names which are there in the system.
Is it only table names or all objects?
All table name only.
Okay. I mean, what all objects can be there on HBase other than table?
No, if you use list, it will only give you the tables.
But all other objects, right? Like tables, like stored procedures, indexes, and all that.
HBase doesn't support procedures. HBase doesn't support indexes.
No, yeah. So does it only support tables or any other object is also there? That's the question.
External tables are there, and yeah, it started now. So this is the HBase. So it is the master status, just like we have HBase HDFS health system, right? So similar to that, we have this attribute name. So it will give you every information about your HDFS cluster and the task running on this. So root tables and all. So if you have region servers, it will give you the region servers and the dead region servers, region server in transition. So it is, since it is a pseudo distributed mode, so that's why it's not having anything here. So if they have one region server, which is nothing but this one, localhost.local domain, and one master, which is the same localhost.local domain, one shift server. I had told you, right, in the last class we used some different APIs, web interfaces.
For what?
So let's just like say, in the last class I had discussed like HBase can be accessed using Swift, Avro, or some other third-party tools to give you web services kind of an page. So this is the same Swift server which is running Windows, right? So this is nothing but a Swift server. If you see that library, click on this and it will give you the consumption of everything. So since it is just now started, we don't have any particular thing here, and it will come. So on its configuration, Swift server API, it is Swift server, so HBase version, HBase compile, and every other information that will be given. Okay, so similar to this one, Swift server, people use Avro, people use Java API directly, and one or two more APIs are there, okay, third-party tools are there, but most famous are Swift and Avro. So now if I come here and give this one, Valera management, queue, under this queue, come here, and since we do not have any table, it is not going to give you any information. So we need to check the location where HBase bin is there. So we'll look into that when we will be in the lab work. So as we know, list is used for listing all the tables that are there in the system, and then so it is just a verification way. So if you are getting the logs, and if you're getting the shell, that means the HBase is running. So management console, it is like localhost :6010. These things are only valid for your like Apache's distribution installation, okay, and it will not be valid for your Cloudera or nothing or Hortonworks. So because that has been customized in Cloudera or Hortonworks. See, for HBase that you are seeing here in status, I don't match that. Okay, see, it is localhost. Okay, they have used a similar for port 60010, so it is not changed in this case. So the port number can also be customized. So based on most of the vendors, what they do configure everything. So they do changes the port number and host everything. So the region runs on port 60030. So let's see whether we have region servers or not. Yeah, we have the region servers as well. So it gives you the region server information. And then firewall configuration. So if you are like working on, if you want to install HBase and you want to configure this, firewall again may become a restriction because it will restrict the incoming and outgoing communication between two systems. Although it is configured with the secure shell, it will not allow to communicate in and out between two systems. So this is like just the console part. So HBase shell. So we can have interactive Ruby shell, or we can just have this one, normal shell, HBase bin, HBase shell. Okay. So since it is already running, we can directly use shell. So now we are in HBase shell. So just give list. We are not having any table, so it is 0 rows. So we do not have any table here. So if you want the Ruby interactive shell, you can go in this link and you can use this link, the information given here, to understand how can Ruby interactive shell can be installed or configured.
And what's the advantage of Ruby interactive shell?
There is no much difference. So it will be something like this thing. You can, it is the same, similar. You have to do the command line like interaction only. I don't know. So it is just a part of this tutorial.
Ruby programming, right?
Yeah, Ruby programming. So you know Ruby?
Oh, I heard of it. I don't know.
So there are many programs that can be used in big data platform: Ruby, Perl, Python. These all are scripting. So HBase shell, what we can do in this one HBase shell, we can quote all names, table and column names, single quotes for text. Similarly, it is like if you want to give any text value, it should be enclosed in single quotes, double quotes for binary, and use Ruby has to specify parameters. So key 1 equals to value 1, comma key 2 equals then value 2, and so on. So HBase gets user table, user ID, and the column. So we can use this one. So we do not have any table here, so it is not going to work. So what error is going to give? Let's see. So here error is unknown table username. We do not have this table name, so it has given a lot of information which are not like useful in this context.
Right. What all your options you can use with this particular command?
Yeah, yeah. So HBase shell supports various commands like general. In general, we can see like status and the version. For data definition languages, we can use alter, create, describe, disable, drop, enable, exist, is disabled, is enabled, and list. So we can use all these commands for DDL purpose. For DML purpose, we can use count, delete, delete all, get counter, increment, put, scan, truncate. So these are the DML commands. And for cluster administration, we will use balancer, close region, compact, flush, major compact, move, split, and unassign zkdump, add peer, disable peer, enable peer, remove peer, start replication, stop replication. So these are the administrative commands that can be used in HBase. So in this one, HBase shell status is there. So check this. So it says that one server is there, 0 del, 2 is like 2.0 average load. So this is the status of the server, and status details will give you the detailed information. So what is the sizes and mem store file and everything will be given. So everything is detailed here. So have you heard about Vertica?
I just heard it from you, man.
Only for me. Okay. No, I'm just working on that. So it's like more comfortable to work on Vertica compared to work on HBase. So this is just an example. Yeah, it's a columnar database, vertical database. So it is just the same example that I have shown you. So in HBase shell, what we can do here. So let's go through an example here. We are going to create a table called blog with following schema. Okay. So info with 3 columns, title, author and date, content with 1 column, post. So how to do this? We will be having this one. So create table name of the table is this one, versions, anything, how many versions we want to have it. So version 5, and this one we are having name F1 and the version 1 value is given here. You see, I just gave create table name, and name is F1, and version we want to store the 5 versions. So it will table name, table 1 is created. So similarly we have one more command. So let's check. So there are actually these are the many ways that you can use for creating a table. So you can use create this line. Okay. So you are actually limiting the table name will be T1 and the column family name will be F1, which will store the 5 versions only. Or you can have this thing table 1, sorry, T1 with family 1, version you can store 1, and CTL is the total size and block cache. So it will store the block size, means block data into the cache memory. So that is again true. You can specify this as false. And similarly, you can have create table 1 with one family name 2, and family name 3. Okay. Or directly you can have this command. So since we are going to use, we are creating a blog table. So create blog is the table name of the family is info and content. So in the previous slide we just saw, right, two families with info and content. So this is the command. So these are the ways that can be used for creating a table. So let's execute this command.
So I'm not still very slow on. So here the name of the table is blog. Family name is info, right? So when you say name, it's a family name.
Yeah. The first
And
is
what
your
content?
family
Content
name.
is also family name.
Yeah, content is also a family name.
So you can create a blank table with two family names, is it?
Yes, correctly. So we have to it is always there, right? We have to create the structure first, then we have to store the data, right? So we are creating a table called block, and inside that table we are having two families, and inside that family we can insert as much values.
Okay, but you can also alter the family structure later on as well, right? In case the data grows and all that.
Yeah, family name cannot be altered. Column name can only be altered. So see, if you are creating an info family, and inside this info family, if you are creating two columns, let's say ID and name, okay, so you can alter the ID and name, but not the info. It's not a good practice. You can do that. Better. Most probably it is like we used to do it, like we create a new column family, migrate the data from old to new one, and then delete the previous. It's not there. Okay, instead you can have create new family and then migrate the data.
Okay, so
Okay.
so the old what happens to the old family name? The name will be there, but the data will be moved.
No. You have to delete the old family name. So migrate means like just copy and pasting the data. So after that you will have to delete it. Delete family. Okay. Delete old family name.
You try to delete the old family which is associated with some data. Will it give you a warning effect saying, you know, this family
Yeah,
has got
it will give you. It will give you warning. It will give you. So after that you can add columns in each family. Okay. Each family. So here you have option to alter columns. Okay. You have option to alter columns like data type, name. We can alter it. Is this clear? So populate data with this data. So it's saying that since we had created this table name, I think we had, no, we didn't have. So what I'm going to do instead of walking into this one, I'm just trying to get it some easily. You can see this black window, na, clearly.
Yeah. Oh no, it's very tiny.
It's very tiny. Can you zoom it from your side?
No, make it full screen from your side.
It's full screen only.
Restore it. I'll tell you.
Okay,
Yeah, this is better actually.
this is better.
Yeah, this is one better.
Okay. So you know how to like change the font size?
Go to change setting.
Change settings. Okay, yes.
The appearance is there, right? The window appearance. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
Change.
make it to 12. So this is good.
This is better.
Okay. And so we are in HBase cell. I have copied it and I'm just pasting the.
Dot prompt. Dot is it?
No, this is putty.
Oh, the, okay, this is 40. Okay.
So I'm using putty, and this why I'm using putty is every time I will have to means take the cursor into this cloud era, right, VMware, so it makes little more uneasy to navigate. So that's why I'm just access the same shell from putty and copying and pasting. So here it's like a little bit easy. So
Because you're the same machine, right? Using putty?
yeah, no, you can use putty for any machine, but the only thing is that you should be in a network.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I can access my office machines. I can access your machine even if we are in a same network.
Yeah.
Okay, and even there is one more tool called what is it called? Yeah, VNC. Okay, so using VNC, we can I can access your system over the internet.
All right.
Okay, so here in this with this command, I have created a HBase table with the name blog and family info and family content. Okay, and I'm going to populate this table with this data. So how can we insert data? We have to use the put command. So put table name, row ID, family column name, and the value. So this is the format to give the data, to insert the data. Okay. So just like this one, insert row 1, so put blog table name with this value under the title, okay, with elephant. So if we compare this thing, so we are going to have info title, means title is one column name, author is one column name, and date is one column name, and post is one column name under content family. So these three are info family, and this is your content family. So let's see. So we have inserted one line. Okay. Again, we are going to insert one line. The thing is that what is the difference in between these lines are, we are using block table with the first value mat001. Here you can see the info title. This means this is your info title is one column with the value elephant. Under the same table, same row ID, we are using another title, another column name called author and inserting the value mat. Okay, and this is your same table for the same row ID. For the new column date, we are inserting a date here. Okay.
Basically, it tries to identify a column name based on the colon, is it?
Yes, correct. So this is your family. Info is nothing but a family name. Yeah, correct. So info is nothing but a family name, and inside this family name, it is trying to act. It is creating a new title, new column called title, and it is inserting the value called elephant. So see the syntax, general syntax. If you remember the syntax, it will be helpful. So put table name, row ID name, then the family that we had already created, and to which column it is we want to put. So if the column name is not existing, it will create it. Else, it will directly put the value into that column name. Okay. So we have given two values. So let's go with the second value. Sorry, third. So here let's see the list. So we know that we have created two tables, right? T1 and the blog. So we have blog. Okay. And T1. So let's insert the third value. Third value is inserted. So insert rows 2 and 4. Okay, so in this context, we have given two values. First one is your, we have given elephant, mat, and date, and do elephants like monkey. So first one we have given, and the second one is Mickey Mouse. So it means this one. So we need to insert these values by ourselves. Okay, so we can do this. And then just since we had created a table and we have inserted two records, so we can just look into that, access the data, count. So access data is, first one is the count. We can get the total number of records. Okay, then we can use get to get the single row, just like it's a select star from table with where ID equals to 1. So this is the same similar syntax, and scan will give you the scan retrieve the range of rows. So it will give you a range of rows that is already that you want to specify a range. Okay. So let's see the commands. So here we have seen count, get, and scan. So starting with the count, how to give this? Count is a command, and on which table you want to access the get the count. So we can give this one. So count, table name is, so it is case sensitive. So B, small b is not working. We have to get the capital B, and since we have inserted two records only, so we are getting two records. So what is the time that it has taken to retrieve it is 0.0850 seconds. So again, if we want to scan it, as I have told, scan is used to scan entire table. So it can be slow. It is just like information. Alternatively, can use a MapReduce job more to do the scan, which will actually help you in restricting it. Okay. So this is the like count one. If you have interval 10, so if it is like 100 values are there, so if you give interval 10, it will give you 10 values. So let's see scan. So this is the content. So this is like this. Okay. So when you give scan block, it is scanning the complete content of this one. So these are the row ID, and based on this is the values. So what are the values? Column, post, content, post. This is a timestamp, and the value is Mickey Mouse, and so on. Author is John. As I had told you, right? So the last entered value will be retrieved first. That's why Mickey Mouse we had inserted last, right? So it has the recent timestamp. That's why it is giving on the top.
Okay. Can you use your typical order by clauses and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So it gives you the same thing. So count block interval 2, count block interval 1. It will be like if we had inserted all the values, we can get similar output. So access data using get. So get is like another command that we had seen, right? So get will give you information like this. So we have to specify the column names for which we want to get the data. Okay, so what are the content? So it will be like HBase cell we are having get table row ID. So returns an entire row, means based on this row ID it will return. So it is just like a where clause. Returns table name and row ID. Optional timestamp or time range and version we can give as we want. So here it is just like get P1, then the row 1 is the value. Row 1 is the row ID, and which columns you want to specify, either C1, or if you want to get a group of columns name, you can specify the group. So C1, C2 and C3 are the column names. Again, if you want to give some time range between so and so time interval, we can use this timestamp. And again, if we are very specific, to get the column name with the column specified column name and with the specified timestamp, so we can have this timestamp. And if you want to get the version, so as I have told you, right, in the previous slide we saw that version 5 is there. So that means it can store the same data with 5 different versions. So you can retrieve the data for last 5 versions. So if you are inserting 6 data for the same one, for the same row ID, it is going to replace the last one. Okay, the first one will get replaced, and second, third, fourth, and fifth. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth will be there. With these are the latest 5 versions. See, if we give this one, column cell will be 0. So unknown block. So only get block. Let's see what happens here. So if we are giving this get block only, so it is saying wrong number of arguments passed. 1 out of 1 or 2. Get block for this row ID. So since we have not inserted this row ID, we had inserted some different row ID. We'll be using that. One block. So get block, comma, row ID will be something like mat01, mat-001. Enter. So we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 values are there. Okay, in the scan. So we are getting 4 different values for post, author, date, and title. Since it is from the same record, but we are getting it like this. Okay, so we are having a single record with 4 columns: post, author, date, and time. So post is under the content family, author, date, and title are under the info family. Why we are getting this way of information is just because if HBase is not yet supported by SQL interface, that is why we are getting this kind of result. So if you are integrate it with HBase, okay, you will get it the similar column pattern. So as you get in Oracle or any other command line databases, info column author, comma, that info column title, comma, single quotes, the single quotes, author, comma, sorry, content, comma, post, content, column, post, enter, and space. See, that's okay. So here, what I was missing is comma. I just didn't notice that, and I was just wondering why it's not working. So get from table name with the row ID, and we are specifying 3 columns: two from info family with author column name and title column name, and 1 from content family with the post. So post, we are getting it like value is 2 elements like monkey, and then author is Matt, and the title is elephant. We are getting these 3 values based on we have specified the column name in this line. Okay. Similarly, we can restrict the data based on our conditions here. So giving the column a row ID name, row ID number, and then specifying the water columns we require. We can also restrict it to the version same, and we can like get the data also. That is just an example here. Accessing data with scan. So as I was telling, like to get the data with scan command, it takes lot of resources. So we have to specify the different conditions here to restrict the scan over a particular table.